I always feel like the plug. I could grow that. I ain't buying it from you. I'll grow it and sell it to you. You know, that's my approach on things. So I also feel that I'm also really good at making films. So because I can make films, I understand the game. I really ran the cash register there. And because I have a business mind, I'm going to invest in that. But also I'm noticing that, on every platform, it's not controlled by us. None of them are. Even if somebody says they call BET, they're not owned by anybody, which I think is offensive. How you going to be a white company and own something that called Black Entertainment Television? Or a record company supposed to be universal, but you call it Black Music. I don't understand that. There's no division called white music. There's no WET, white entertainment television. You couldn't do that. You understand what I'm saying? So why is it all right to do that in television? And all our stories have to be told by them. So what happens is a television network goes to a production company, buys the rights, and then gives them the money and the budget to go make it. But they own it. We come with the stories. They say, the only way you can tell a story is if you go through E1, a white company, tararee. Tara Long. And you notice I like to call white people out by name. Nobody does that. I do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to be fighting each other like they want us to. Like the television networks, when they portray us, they try to get us drunk, have us fight each other, and make our legends look like we dysfunctional. Have us looking desperate and corny. But if we got a story to tell, we can't tell it our way. Well, we can now. So my thing is, you don't tell me what to do. I definitely don't give you my culture to give it back to me. That don't make no sense. Plus, you soft. You understand what I'm saying? So why would I listen to you? So it made no sense for me to be working for a television network or having a TV show. I got to have a network and have TV shows and movies and make Disney. I could do it on my own. And when I do make content, it ain't going to be the content that distracts you. It's going to focus you. It's going to evolve you. It's going to show you the things that we need to do to self-sustain. Like they give us entertainment that makes us live vicariously through people that don't even exist. It's all a scam for us to fight each other, pay attention to distract us from our oppressor, and really understand how to help ourselves. So the patterns that I'm going to put out there are going to be the helpful ones. The ones that tell you what real wealth is, like eating healthy, and taking care of your girl. And if we're going to tell some stories about gangsters, we're going to show the recourse of it and how you learn from it. And it ain't going to be for nobody that glorifies. It's going to be some niggas that really did it and did the time for it. Period. And we doing the politics thing as well. So we got the Andre Carson and Senator Eddie Milton and so many others, because these are congressmen and senators that are fighting for us, passing laws, and you never really see them on CNN unless Donald Trump yells at them. So we have to be able to empower our own superheroes, the real ones. And then we got the OSG network with 90 principals, Black principals through the whole country and the whole planet, and we help in education. We're not depending on them to help us, because I look at education, I'm like, how come this look like a jail? Why they gotta have the school look like a courtroom when I walk in? Why they gotta sit behind desks? Why they not teaching us how to pass laws, how to farm? Why they not teaching? I was in school. Everything I do right now, the only thing I learned in school was math and reading and to get the fuck out of there, because I don't want what y'all got. How is a teacher, no disrespect to one, but if they not making a lot of money, how you gonna teach somebody how to make money? So they purposely keep our educators controlled and broke, so that you want to be broke. And if you don't go to school, sit behind the desk, when the sun's out, away from your parents, you only see them when you're tired, from 6, 7 to 4, and then you only chill out 2 days a week, and then you go to another school that teaches you that you got to pay for to do that. Then you go to work that looks like school to pay off that taught you how to do it. That's slavery. So these patterns were presented to me, and I didn't accept them. I was like, them patterns don't make sense for me. And I see other people accepting patterns because everybody does, and then they end up depressed, on pills, trying to escape the reality instead of just taking care of it. See, I'm about that action. So I don't really want to complain. I'm going to do something. So us having our network also makes it where we control the narrative. You understand? And also people will be accountable. So if you want to keep trying to be racist, the way I deal with that, I buy your company or I put you out of business and I fire you. That's what I do. That's how I deal with racism. You know what I'm saying? You don't want me in your house? I buy the house and kick you out. It's my house now. And no violence, very legal. Just awareness of self. And that's exactly what the network is. Period. Period.
When I look at the network, Dane, stuff like intelligent boss moves, man.
Mm-hmm.
That leads me to this question. Do you think bosses are born or are they made?
I think everyone has the potential to be a boss. I think you are born a boss and made a slave. No one's going to choose to be a slave. Who the f- want to be a slave? You got to be trained to think that life is good when it's not. Yeah, you're born a boss until somebody convinces you you're not. Yeah, I'm born a boss. If I could breathe and I'm control of that, I'm a boss. And anything I own is mine, no matter who you are. You cannot come in here unless, if I'm not breaking no laws, do not come in here. And if you do, it's on my terms or you breaking the law. You know, and I can be confident and arrogant about that as long as I'm not breaking no laws. And I'm not. It's a way out. And it doesn't have to be illegal and it don't have to be entertainment. Look at the way school programs us, right? Either you get a job or you make minimal money, or you could be in sports and break a social class. The school provides that distraction, which is lotto, and makes it to where you have a choice, school or sports. I'm like, I'm playing sports. And if you don't make it, which is 99% of the time, you're not even prepared. So they facilitate that. And that is intentional. It has to change. And then down to religion. The systemic racism, we're born into thinking Jesus is white. Number one, Jesus ain't even his name. Jesus is a European interpretation of the name. His name is Joshua. That's nothing in the Bible happened in Europe. So why we got Vikings dressed up as God? We born thinking Jesus got blue eyes and we calling him Jesus? Think about this, right? Now I'm editing a movie, and the editor, this other editor who got himself, fired, he kept sending me cuts. Like when he puts the place where I should do narration, he kept spelling my name wrong. And that was aggravating the fuck out of me. Like, yo, the cuts were good, but I was still pissed off. Now, can you imagine if God's name ain't Jesus and everybody running around saying his name wrong? How you going to get his full blessing? But even though people are conscious of this, even though they know it's in scripture, this is factual. Because they're programmed, people are scared to say that Jesus ain't his real name, but you still going to see somebody black saying Jesus. The European interpretation of it. Why? If we're conscious, why we still do it? His name is Joshua. Period.
Entrepreneurship and ownership, though, Dane. I feel like when you had that conversation on the Breakfast Club, man, and you said that you was doing it for your last name, it kind of was a catalyst in that direction for ownership and entrepreneurship in hip-hop. I've seen a lot of people just really say, you know what, it's time for me to start my media company. It's time for me to get off my ass and start really being about the business of everything.
And they brought it on themselves at the time. But as you see, when I came back, they were exactly completely opposite down to their programming and the way they approach their life. So usually, people don't like the truth, especially, men. They don't like the truth. They might not accept it in the moment. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did my job. So, I care about people to a certain extent, but I can't care about you more than you care about yourself. I could bring you awareness and I can leave you with that, but I'm up in the hills, bro. I don't see it or hear it. I choose to help because I love myself. See, unless you love yourself, you don't know how to love nobody else, period. You can't tell me how to love if you don't love yourself. Just like you can't tell me how to get money if you ain't got none. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me to be at peace if you're not at peace. You want to help everybody else, but you drown. I don't understand it. Focus on yourself so that you can really help somebody. And that's the problem with people. They try to use that shit as an excuse. So many people, I say, what's your dream? Go to help people. What you crack, bro? Your dream should be not to take care of your children and make sure your girl is taken care of. That's your dream, so that they never have to work. And then you go help everybody with the money you made. But it shouldn't hurt you to help people.
Exactly. What do you think about accountability and responsibility in the game, though, Dane? Because, like you said, a lot of people are slaves, but they want to blame somebody else for that whole slavery system that they're in instead of being accountable and saying, you know what, I can break those chains.
Again, a person in this moment, it's a choice to be a slave because it's a mental thing. You can listen and have somebody tell you what to do. You can be dependent on them to give you something. You can say, I'm going to go get it myself. It doesn't hurt me if you don't. You understand what I'm saying? It's like I said, bro, if you don't want it, you have to want it. Like, if you can't be aware, then, that's on you. But it's so much I'm going to care about, especially dudes. Like, I don't really care so much. If it's, women, I'm like, all right, I get it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll stay there. I have compassion. But for dudes, I'm like, yo, I'm sick of all of this talking to you nice. Pull your skirt up and go be a man. You know, that's what it is. You want to spit, say, humming and hawing, crying. Nobody want to hear that. Push past that. If you healthy, don't cry. If you're not in jail, don't cry. If you're not dead, don't cry. You know, we cry when people die, but everybody dies. We supposed to cry, we supposed to push on. It ain't, oh, why me? Everybody goes through some. It's how cool everybody deals with it. Ain't nothing somebody, like, when I have a problem, I look at everyone else's, I'm like, this ain't a problem. Period. I got my homies in jail, niggas is dying, got COVID. I can breathe. I'm free. I'm good. Because whatever's wrong, I can make it right. As long as I can fix it, I'm good. But I ain't gonna worry about something. I just don't worry. I don't like it. I think the world is controlled by fear. Fear is the dream killer. That's what's implemented in us to stop us from moving forward. Because everybody, I don't want to do it cause. It ain't no cause. Do it.
Exactly.
You got paper?
How do you feel like technology is impacting, the ability for folks to go out here and be?
It's everything. It's everything. It cut out the middleman. I'm telling you, once I saw the internet, that's when I said the music business and I started making content. I'm like, y'all can stay on this Titanic if you want. It's going to be old work. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas is trades right now. Y'all deuces. It's too crowded. I don't like hustling on the crowded block. You feel me? I like to be the first one with it and I can sell as I went. Right now, I'm wait. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Period. I'm Pablo with the content because I know how to do it. Nobody knows how to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Creating that content earlier on, though, Dane, when you saw that gap and you said, okay, I got to go ahead and get up through here. What was it that was going through your mind at that time? And you said, okay, I got to learn this too. Because, you're coming from an analog age going into this digital age now.
Well, first, I learned to let other people learn from me. You got to outsource a lot of things. So, being the first person to do things is not always the best because you make the mistakes and you end up paying for it. So, I'm quite sure Facebook wasn't the first stop. It was, what was that first one everybody was doing before Facebook?
MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace, right? They ain't here no more, but they was the first, but they gone. So I'm sure Facebook learned from all their mistakes and then came back harder. Pause. So I knew the game, but I was like, I'm gonna just lay. I'm gonna just get really sophisticated at making content because at the end of the day, if I ain't got no bullets, the gun don't matter. You feel me? So I had to make the bullets and get good at making the bullets so somebody else can make the gun for me. That's what I looked at it like.
That's right. Now, speaking of that content as well, that forbidden knowledge with Billy Carson, man, that was kind of real deep right there now, Dane.
That's very deep.
Talk to me about this futuristic stuff you on.
Well, really, it's not even futuristic because all of it is in ancient text. The stuff they don't tell us in all ancient texts that you see is that there was an intergalactic space war. Anunnakis camped out on Mars, went to Earth to mine for gold for the atmosphere, turned human beings, genetically modified them to make them slaves to build for them, started smashing the women, so fell in love with them. Two brothers that was running, one was like, but one had a baby with one of them, and they was like, look, flood them out, man, because they're not right. That's what it was, because they was just actually evolving them. They were just they was going to flood everybody out. He's like, nah, they good. And he had a son named Noah, and then he gave him a spaceship with the DNA of all the animals, and so on and so forth. Now, this is in text. You know what I mean? It's in the emerald tablets. It's in the Dead Sea Scrolls. It's in so many hieroglyphics everywhere you see. It's, basically I know too much. You know what I'm saying? I really do. And, we're in the Matrix, bro. It really are.
What went through your mind when you started becoming inundated with all of that information, though? And you're sitting over there, you're thinking to yourself, okay, we raised in a regular Christian house and all of this extra stuff, but then this new information comes in and kind of changes the way that you see the world in general.
I always saw it like that. It just validated my thoughts. Since I was 19, I had an uncle on my arm. I never believed in white Jesus. I just never did. I didn't care. It just didn't make sense to me. I'm just a logical person, and I just always in my brain would be like, but it took place. It didn't take place in Europe. I don't understand. It's not cold. It didn't make sense to me. I always, I read the Bible, but there's things in there that just, I could tell you stories about it, but we'd be here all day. But, Bishop Purnell, he knows the history of that work of the scriptures, and it's facts. It's not emotion. It's not a feeling. It's in text. You know, so when you start to see things that I was like, I knew this ain't make sense. But think about it. If honestly, if you're really born and you think God is white, what are you really gonna think about yourself?
You ain't gonna feel good about yourself at all.
And that's us. That's the racism that comes into play, and we still doing it. You know? So I understand about faith, but you gotta say the right name and understand who gave us the name to say. You can't trust your oppressor, bro. If your oppressor gives you anything, you can't trust them. So if I'm a slave, I don't trust nothing master gave me. Period. And if they gave it to me, I know it was to make me still be a slave. They ain't gonna give me nothing to empower me.
No, those are facts. When you out here telling people this stuff and sharing your information, and then also when you have your own network to disseminate all of this good information, what is the reaction and what is the reception of it, Dang?
It's all positive, really. I don't hear negative. You know, if you scared, don't come see me. Because, you know, like, if you're a brave person, do you hear punk? I don't hear scared people, bro. That's a different language. I talk boss. I don't talk slave. If you ain't talking in boss, it's just Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. That's all it is.
The boss talk, man. You and Master P got together on the network as well and kicked a little flavor in that thing.
Yeah,
Can you speak to me about being a father? Because, I mean, y'all were talking about personal stuff and just regular life in general. What was it like for you coming up in the game, having this ultra successful career and still trying to be folks' daddy at the same time?
It was my son, Boogie. I raised Boogie, like meaning I went to court and had custody of him since he was 8. So I was a single father and it was fly. You know, I always looked at myself like a rock star, and being a good father, that's what really made me a rock star. You know, just pulling up to his school and him making him proud. I loved every moment of it. So I was like, and still am, dad on, like I'm still currently kind of hot. So like my kids get to feel all that, like damn, cause you know your kids, you're not famous to your kids. Like my children didn't think I was famous. They never think I'm famous while they give me no props, bro. It's really funny. And when the only time they start realizing is when I go outside, but I'm not outside that much. And they be like, you know him? And I'm like, no. And then, yeah, all right. Like really, I'm like, why you think? And they don't even really know what I do.
Yeah.
Like my daughter Ava is just learning because she got to spend some time with me with Kanye on the ranch. And she got to see how I move. That was her first time really seeing what I am. But to her, I'm like a big kid.
That's crazy. Now,
like imagine really having me as a dad.
So, it should be off the damn chain.
Ask my kids. But the thing is, like with Boogie, you know, he had more, like right now, he's upset about the way I treat him as an adult, not as a kid. Because sometimes when you baby your kids, they want to stay kid, but you can't enable your children. You got to push them out. You're there for them. But, you know, after a certain age, you're not daddy no more. You dad. You still dad. I'm going to still be there. But for me to not let you be a man would be that I'm taking everything for you because ain't nothing better than being a man. Nothing feel better than being a real man. This shit is priceless. I don't care how much money you got. If you got to give up your manhood for it, you broke. But if you a real man, you embrace thoroughness. You embrace always doing things right. You embrace making sure you took care of your family. That's what I'm proud of, is that I take care of people. And if you only worried about the fact you took care of yourself, and that's all you worried about, you're never really going to have success. Because really all you're supposed to be fighting for is love. I fight for love. You know, like some people around me be like, yo, you kind of scary sometimes. I'm scary for you, not against you. You know, to protect love, you got to have some scary because you got to protect. But I also got puppies around me and flowers and everything else. I'm only in fight mode when it's time to fight, but I'm only fighting for peace. There's always war before peace when you got to have some change. So I go do the war, I get in the ring, but then the rest of the world is vacation for me, bro.
One of the wars that you fought well was the one against culture vultures, Dame. I mean, first of all, you coined that term and it's become a part of the lexicon that everybody uses to this day and probably for the future and just for hip hop in general and then just the world. And
I put Leo out the music business.
Talk to me about that, Dame.
I don't like the way he was conducting himself as related to respecting our culture. He was exploiting it. And, you know, conveniently, no one respects him in his own culture. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't hustle on your block, please don't come hustle on mine. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you ain't tough, and I watched this shit, nobody know. So I watched how he manipulated people. I watched what he did between Jay and I and everyone else. He stopped a lot of history for his own personal gain. Real individual. And he was training us, just like really trying to train us to be subservient and to settle, right? I remember when we first did the deal, the co-venture, and I said, yo, what you consider rich? This nigga told me 600,000 after taxes. I said, all right, yo, get out of here. He wanted me to think that. That was his programming for me. I always noticed he lived on Park Avenue, but Kev Lyles lived in Jersey. Why? 2 hours away on a swamp. I'm like, why? You understand what I'm saying? Like, why you not living like him? Why do you think he could have a $12 million house and you should only have like a $500,000 house in the swamp? Why? You know, all these taking our culture, if they got more than us, they doing wrong. If you notice, all my artists have more than me. Jay-Z has more than me. Kanye has more than me. All my artists are in Forbes. I teach them how to have more than me, or else I didn't do my job.
Dang, talk to me about that though, man, that giving spirit, and then also just working to put people in the game, man. I mean, what is it in you that, first of all, has the eye for talent and sees the greatness in folks long before everybody else sees?
I just look at the truth, and that's my win. Like, my win is looking at other people win, and that's why people don't understand. They be like thinking I'm losing. I'm like, yo, you don't understand. When somebody's winning, they waving my flag. The more you get, the more I got. I know what I did and everyone else do. You know, if everybody that for me goes to the trip without me, then that tells you something. I don't even teach you to be with me and up under me. And look, I'm a lot of energy, bro. You understand what I mean? If you a superstar, you don't really want me in the room too much. I'm taking all that. And I don't even do it on purpose. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know I trigger my artists. That's why I make them partners, say go over there, because I got my own kingdom. So if you choose to just relax, come see me. You feel me? I go help you. But, you know, I respect everything about your kingdom. It's yours. But I got mine. You know? So the people around me that are successful, that's my win. That's my W. Because that's what I was in it for. When you say, yo, when you get with someone, especially if it's a dude, the only reason why you with him for is to get some money, right? I did my job. Now, you know, fly pelican fly. Like, I don't want to see I hate to see people I put on or help put on do bad. When I see Kevin Hart, I'm like, I did that. You know, when I see Lee Daniels, I did that. Rachel Roy, I did that. And there's so many others that y'all don't even know. You know? Smoke Dizzle was telling me the other day, he was on the thing and Flex was telling him how I put him on. I was like, damn, I forgot I put Flex on. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was bugging when he was trying to get at me. I'm like, nigga, I took the time to make you better. Why are you yelling at me now? For a white man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, did a white man tell you how to do anything? They told you like, yo, stay having a job. I was like, yo, do this, that, and the third, so you ain't got to stay having a job. I try to free niggas, they get mad. You know what happens when you try to free a slave? They get mad at you.
Now, Dane, basically what you're saying goes back to the struggle of success, man. I mean, can you talk to me about the Best Out crew and how that kind of, shaped you younger coming into the game?
Yeah. You know, the DNA, Harlem is my DNA. Burnt me out the minute I really got uptown. And, my block, 142nd Street, I call it my block because I wasn't born there, but I was just there every day. From the first day, I love that block. And the loyalty, the strength, the commitment to honor, and then also just, with the Best Out, just a lot of flash. We knew how to flash, cash or not. We knew how to have fun in an environment where people weren't. And what we knew was, we always know we all look good. That looks so much better than one person in one car and a bunch of whack cars. That looks whack. But when everybody come fly, now that looks fly. So you want to keep everyone you love fly because they're fly. When you're not all right, then they can help you and it doesn't hurt them. And that's what get your friends rich so you can never go broke. Now, some people could pretend that they love them, get the money and run out the circle. That's happened. Y'all seen it. But there are some that stay in the circle, but even it's like a secret circle. You know what I mean? Like real niggas don't have to speak really. You know what I'm saying? Like if you my man, you ain't got to ask me for nothing. If I see you hurting, I ain't even gonna make you say nothing. Why would I do that to you? You my man. You understand what I'm saying? If I got to ask you already, you want me on the knee, that's...
Come on now.
And it's funny because a lot of niggas been waiting for me to ask, but I never had to.
Ooh. Dang, can you take me to the 80s though, man? Coming up in that Reagan era, crack babies all over the place, crack all over the place. Hustling is reeling at an all-time high, and you trying to figure out and navigate these streets as a young man coming up before everything. What was that like for you? And I mean, how do you feel like that shaped the Dame Dash that we have now?
You know, I'm 15. And I'm getting money. I got better cars than my principal. You know, I'm not really thinking about so much the future in that moment. When niggas started getting killed and going to jail, you know, that's why I made Paid in Full, because I saw that situation. I was there for it. And that's what made me stop hustling, that whole situation. And that's when you have to start thinking about your future. So if I'm looking at guys that I'm looking up to getting their brothers and them kidnapped and killed, and I'm not even really about that life like that. Like I'm not committed to it like that because I got other options. I just wanted to get money. So the game got too nasty for me. You know, it was disgusting to see a little kid die and all this type of shit. It's disgusting. See, what people don't, like they glorify that gunshot, but like seeing somebody embalmed or seeing them laid out, that is disgusting. It doesn't give anyone a good feeling, you know, bad feeling all around. And I'm even still healing from that trauma of seeing people get their head splattered or a bullet. You know what's crazy? Because when a bullet goes in the head don't splatter. The head just swells up. And I shouldn't even know that. And I've seen it too many times, you know, like, and I didn't recognize it as trauma. So that's another reason why I think therapy is very important for our culture. We got to go through that we consider normal. Like, I'm really seeing kids get killed that I knew and then going to school and laughing like it's nothing. You know, and then going about my day. Nobody pulled me aside and say, yo, you all right, bro? You know? So we're accustomed to feeling trauma and not understanding that it's trauma, so we don't know how to fix it. But, you know, in that moment, you know, when you get money, it's fun. But when when everyone goes to jail and someone you love gets killed and you start seeing people's families dying, like that's what they need to show is the people that you hurt, you know, that don't deserve it. All them good people that gotta have their heart broken, you know, for shorts, respect, dumb to survive. And the crazy thing is, you know, I know a lot of people that are about that action for real. And I can have conversations with them like, yo, you put in a lot of work. You ever hit anybody white? And I'm not saying do that, but why is it all right to hit each other? And, you know what I mean? It makes no sense. We're so comfortable with hurting each other. That's a program that we fight them instead of each other. And then we fight each other. And what people don't understand is not really racism, it's social classes. Money don't give a fuck about white or black. If you poor, white don't give a fuck about poor white or poor black. Period. Black, which is once they get there, sometimes doesn't give a fuck about poor black. You know? And generational money has no concept. They look at another social class like a commodity, like the way we look at food, cattle. You know, that's another thing about health for me. It's like, yo, number one, it's disgusting to me to eat meat because it's doo-doo in it. Too much doo-doo. Every bite got doo-doo in it. Chicken is disgusting. It's filthy. 100% of chicken got doo-doo in it. And the way they feed them cows is disgusting. The way they kill them. It's all the pus that's in the cow is disgusting. It's just disgusting. I don't care how. It's just disgusting. We're programmed to eat nasty shit. Plus, in the Bible, it says, thou shalt not kill. If we don't have to kill, you're not supposed to. We ain't got to kill to eat no more. There's options.
Come on now.
But, you know,
Full though, dang.
Huh?
What was that like for you when you got ready to make Paid in Full and you were actually able to tell a story from your childhood and put it and blast it out to the world?
The making of it was frustrating. because, that was my first interactions with the Weinsteins. And, that whole process was a fight to get it done the way it was, even to get it where it was at. I thought I wanted it way better, and that's another reason why that experience made me say I'm doing it myself. There's no way these nerds are going to be telling them paid in full. I got to go through a Weinstein. It made me so mad. I was fighting on paid in full, all type of, all type of happened because the movie was real. It's real. People are still affected by that movie today. You understand what I'm saying? Like literally, and having it come out, I just felt it should have came out bigger. It was a fight to have it come out. So it was like bittersweet. Like I had to run up on Harvey Weinstein and Bob Weinstein and Ken, like ran up on them. Like actually I ran up on Harvey in Paris. And then he didn't think I'd be in Cannes. He didn't think he was going to see me in Paris. See, what it was the only reason why Paid in Full came out was because I was running into the Weinsteins in places that they wasn't expecting me to be at. So I'd be, I'm way cooler than them. So I'm in Paris doing a photo shoot, with models and shit. He walked in like, oh, like he don't even think I got a passport. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, yo, blah, 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 blah. Oh, we'll handle it. Yeah, let's handle it then. What's up? You know what I'm saying? And, whoever he was with, come with me because I know he ain't right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. Literally. Then I bounced over to Cannes, caught him on the Palais, on the red carpet, in front of Stephen Dorff and was like, yo, what's up? Because they were trying not to put out Paid in Full. And I was like, nah, y'all putting that out or y'all giving it back. And they didn't want to put the money for the reshoot. And they were like, well, we'll only talk to you with Russell Simmons. I'm like, why Russell got to be there? That's my man. But he ain't going to stop me from doing nothing what I'm going to do anyway. Like, what the I thought y'all tough. Well, like they really, and so we had the actual meeting with Russell on, on the line, on the phone. And they were like, yo, we'll put it in this many theaters if it has a good, per screen average. And that's all that counts is the per screen average, right? If you got over 6,000, that's like how many people per screen are actually sitting in the seat. So if per screen only 5 people and you walk, then that's, but if per screen average, if you got a certain amount of people, you win it. I had 6,000 people, which was a big deal. And it was critically acclaimed in the New York Times. Like the writer's name was like Elvis compared it to Mean Streets. So I'm calling them like, yo, what's up? It was well reviewed. Expanded in theaters. No answer. Caught this nigga at a Victoria's Secret party. I'm chilling. I'm with Giselle. I'm with Naomi Campbell. This nigga Weinstein walked in. Yo, what's good? He tried to ignore me. I'm like, yo, you hear me talking to you? And then I was like, yo, this nigga's a herb. I just go, you a herb. Naomi runs her out. Giselle runs. They all scared. What y'all scared of this punk ass nigga for? And then Giuseppe Cipriani is my homie. That was his man. He came like, yo, damn it, you can't keep doing this to him. I used to terrorize him because they didn't do anything they said. So basically the answer is I was frustrated. So it was bittersweet. You know what I mean? I got into fights with niggas, had to go to court. Like a nigga tried to get cute with me on the set and I had to smack him. Then he comes back after the basketball, like I had a basketball program, Team Rock. And this nigga, cause I smacked him because it was a long story, right? But he was just fronting too much. And I'm with my kids. This nigga walks up on me in front of the basketball, in front of the program. And like, yo, don't throw me an apology. So I had to wash him real quick, put my kids in the car. Then the nigga came back and sued me and lost. I broke his ribs and beat him bad. But, it was a fair one. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling him like, yo, I'm gonna fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do this now. You're going to give me I'm doing it. I pounded him out, and then he came and tried to get me arrested. So I had to go through, I got it all on tape, all of it. So the frustration that came with that, it wasn't an easy movie to make. Trust me. Cam got shot over it. That movie was real. That's a life.
Why did Cam get shot over the damn movie?
You guys remember when Cam got shot?
I recall.
Yeah, and that's what that was over. But I don't want to get into it. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he got shot over that.
So now,
it's all type of shit happened over that movie, man.
One of the things that you just said that caught me though too is when you said that you got everything on videotape, Dane. that goes back to your forward thinking once again, because you was blogging before Instagram, before YouTube. What was going through your mind in the 90s that made you say, you know what? Let me go ahead and just blog.
First of all, I needed a witness. These niggas were saying I wasn't doing it. Period. I was like, I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I would just have a camera on, and they still do it. That's why I always have a camera. That's that. But number two, like, I always knew that we was making history. So it was like, of course I'm gonna cover it. It's logical. Like, we might not, in my brain, I was always famous. Always. So I've been Dame Dash since the day I was born. You couldn't tell me I wasn't Dame Dash. You know what I mean? So I knew let me tell you, the best out parties, I had videos of that. Claudie B lost them. He stole them out my house and lost them on his birthday. I'm so mad. I've been taping the whole time, all the pictures, that was all me. I just knew to document history. I just knew that these times that I was living in, I was so arrogant that I knew no one's going to have more fun than me ever. No one's ever going to be cooler than me. Run the camera. Trust me. I'd be like, run it. Because I'm telling you, this is going to be history. So even with the battle between DMX and Jay, me and Y had this conversation all the time. First of all, Big L had the camera. Big L was taping. That's number one, right? And Y was like, yo, don't tape our part because it's not copywritten. I'm like, but I have the pool hall tape, pulling out guns and all that. I got it. Trust me. I got it. I taped it. I taped everything. If you go in Dame Dash Studios right now, you could go, it goes to Rock Files. You'll see that original when we went to Atlanta. I'm like 22. And we running around with the shirts and the jackets. I'm taping back then. Cause I used to keep cameras with me back then. Cause you know when somebody walk into a spot and they got cameras, they look famous. So I used to just do that because it made us look famous. So I'd be like, have our own camera. So we walk in and we looking like stars. That's what I used to do.
Now, what about when you went to the Def Jam offices, Dame, and Rose Hill in there? First of all, I've watched that video probably about 100 times about the damn self. Second of all, you did what everybody wants to do at their job. What was that experience like for you when you said, okay, Joe, get that camera. I'm about to go out here and raise hell, and we got to record this.
Well, again, I had them record it because I knew they were going to try to say I did something I didn't do. And I wanted to bust them. And the way the meeting happened was it was because my man Babalog, Biggs' brother, had got killed. So the day before that, we had the wake. And, that was like really my first real person in my crew that got killed. I'm like really, you understand what I'm saying? My whole team. And they do this day after and then try to say they sent the email knowing we was all at the wake. So I was like, that's dirty. But what was even dirty about it was homie set the meeting up the whole time. I didn't even know. That's what I found out. That was what was, in that moment, you could have never told me he set that meeting up.
Man, giving them the business, giving the Weinsteins the business name. I mean, talk to me about just the confidence and the bravado that goes along with that. Because, I'ma just be real. Most folks ain't gonna do it, dang. They just gonna let it slide. They gonna let it slide. Why
are they lame? You're not gonna let it slide on the block. So somebody step on your sneaker, you want to punch him in his face, but a nigga disrespect you for your money, for your kids, and your culture, you're gonna let it slide. I see a lot of real tough let it slide with some lames. And these niggas is nerds. I don't get it. Like, we ain't doing nothing illegal. Ain't nobody hitting nobody. So why is everybody afraid of these? Even tell them about themselves. I don't get it. Because they think they the plug. They not the plug. I'm the plug. Period. That's how I look at it. If I'm not, I'm not buying it. I don't want to be in the game till I am. Period. If I'm not the plug, I'm not coming through. I can't talk to a lame. I can't talk to somebody pretend to be the plug that's not, and everybody think he the plug. And he controlling something on me. How am I a man or a boss? I have a boss. How am I gonna say that? If another man controlling what I'm doing, am I gonna call myself a man? How am I gonna call myself a boss? I gotta ask. Bosses don't ask. They're polite. They're courteous when they feel like it.
You ain't never lied. So now, one of the things that I had to say about what you were just saying right there is it because you a hustler? Because see, this is the other thing, Dame. The reason why a lot of folks shut up is because they ain't man enough to hustle and get it right back. So, I mean, is that the confidence too that you said, all right, I'll go out here and just hustle if I got to, regardless of the outcome of these situations?
Bro, I could sell anything. As long as there's a flip, I don't need a boss. And that's what I learned in the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I've been cracked. Everyone lost, had that run where first you hit a nigga with a pack, he run off. Another nigga, he got busted. And then all of a sudden you ain't got no money to re-up. You got a little bit of money. You got to flip back up. You might have to put it in the pawn shop, but you get it right back. You just get put on your army fatigues and you hug the block. And that's when you grind. You on your grizzly. So I could always just stand outside until I get money. But it's always money to get as long as there's customers. As long as somebody buying something, I'm going to have something to sell. And in these moments, it don't have to be illegal. You know what I'm saying? Before, it wasn't no internet, a lot of things. Before, that's all I knew. That's what was presented to me. But once I saw other things to sell, I could sell clothes, I could sell art, I could sell movies, I could sell, nigga, I don't need ever, and the margins are better. So I'm like, yo, this is just, like, if I can sell drugs, then I can sell anything. But, a lot of people wasn't good at selling drugs. A lot of people, if you're good at selling drugs, if you get in this business, you're going to go hand. And, I'm not even going to say nothing, but look at those that were from the game that got there. Niggas be like, oh, we're going to get money forever. Only thing that is when you do some stupid. That's why I be out. That's why I be here. I don't do no stupid shit. I be like, I'm chilling. I know I can get loose when I'm drunk. That's why I stay in. You know what I'm saying? I know my triggers. I'm in my environment and I'm not hurting nobody. Leave me alone. I'm in my bubble.
Rockaway Dame coming with one of the freshest fashion lines for the urban culture at that time, man. What was that like when you said, okay, I see what Sean John got going on. I see Fat Farm over there. Let's come with this Rockaway. What was the impact and how did you get that done?
Well, what happened was, we was wearing all that iceberg and everything we was wearing was blowing up. And I saw Russell getting money. Sean John was just about, I remember going to Puff's office or something and he had all the samples in his office. They hadn't quite come out yet. So, we always had our thing. So I'm like, all right, I got to handle that anyway. But I was already making my own rockwear from the beginning. I had just did it stupid. Like I went and tried to buy all the sample room and all that. And I had it in John Street and I just learned wrong. But anyway, so I went to Iceberg. The sales lady put us, because the sales lady knew what was going on. So she put us with the Italian owners. So I wanted to talk to them. And they were so rude. They were like, I was like, yo, we want to do a clothing line. Nah, I can't do that. We want to be in a campaign. Can't do that. Oh, we need some clothes. Oh, we're having a sample sale. Okay, I'm not wearing this anymore. And I was going to, Russell had put me with these Russians, Alex and Norton, to make my jackets. And when I went in, I seen they had some couple of clothing lines. One was like Woo Wear. And I was like, yo, bro, I'm about to do this. If y'all show me how, we could get money. And they were like all over it. And then the Hard Knock Life, I made samples. I just wore the hat and the clothes the whole time, so people could know it was real. And, the rest was history. But, to me, all of the stuff that was happening was supposed to happen. Like, I've been sitting back watching. To me, I wasn't getting enough. I was always disappointed on what the money was once I got there. So you got to think, I'm young, even I always had bread or whatever. At 17, 18, I'm watching Run DMC and everybody getting money and Hammer, all this is getting money. And when they start rolling, Dre and all that, everything's rolling. You're like, it's crazy. So I'm like, damn, we just sold 5 million records. Where the money? Where the fuck is the money? Why am I don't feel comfortable. And everyone looking at us like we getting it. I'm like, we not really getting it. We just know how to, But it wasn't no real money. You know what I mean? It was like, this is going to run out. You know what I'm saying? So I always felt scared. That's why I was always doing new shit. I was like, yo, I'm not comfortable with 3 million, 4 million, 8 million in the bank. And that's supposed to be the big lick. I'm spending that. The things I want to invest in cost more than that. So every dollar I ever made, like if I get 5 million, 8 million, 2 million, right back in the business. Cause what I'm going to do? Spend it? So it'd be like, oh, you broke. I ain't broke, nigga. I got businesses. I invested in Rachel Roy. I invested in Lee Daniels, things that are going to yield later. residual income is not what they were teaching us. So, you know, when you're an artist, unless you really get a sick catalog, like Michael Jackson or something, that shit might not hold you down when you're 50, 60. So what I'm seeing right now is a lot of rappers that are older working harder now than when they were younger for littler crowds. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not going to be jumping on no stage pouring champagne. Nobody wants to see Dame do that this age. You know, that's corny. So I was just always looking for the bigger lick. I was never comfortable. That's why then I did Rachel Roy, you know, even Ryan Kenny out there. I funded Kenny Burns and Ryan. You know, they don't talk about that one, but ask him. You know what I'm saying? You know, ask Ryan to pound some of that bounce. You know, I'd be like, yo, what's up? I thought, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's my nigga. Big shout out to Kenny Burns and Ryan, you know. But bottom line is, I never felt comfortable, especially you gotta remember, homie was quitting every day. Like since the first album, he quit. Every album, he retired. So he always had, like, yo, I'm not depending on this nigga anyway. I already know what he's about to do. We always knew what he was gonna do. You understand what I'm saying? So I was just always prepared.
Well, now you can see it in the business actions because you had so much other stuff going on outside of just the music.
The music wasn't no money. I was off the music, bro. After we sold 5 million, it didn't make enough money. You understand what I'm saying? I was like, nah, I worked too hard. I argue with nigga. I feel like I put my life on the line. We going to law. It's too tough. It was like being in the street, and it wasn't enough money. It wasn't enough money. We made money when we got with Rockwell. That's when that money started to happen.
What was going through your mind, and what did you do when you saw that real money for the first time, Dane?
I still ain't seen the real money yet. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that ain't real money. You can't look at real money, bro. You never see it? You don't see real money? If you can look at your money, you ain't got enough. Put it like that.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm proud, not to speak homie business, but I'm proud of Kanye. He really about that act. He living that billionaire. It's real. And I'm so proud to, like, that's what I'm saying when I see, like, when I really see it, like what it really looked like to be a billionaire, it looked like that. He's having his version of fun with that. But I ain't seen nobody, like, I was on Never Neverland, and he's doing it a little more better than Michael.
What?
Yeah, because you gotta think, he's selling them sneakers. Mike was just being, this nigga really be about that action. He's selling things daily. He ain't talking about no passion. He ain't wearing it on his respect. He's talking about that product that he's selling now. And everything that man put out, sell and resell for double, triple. Everything he put out, sells like 4 different times. You buy it from the store, you sell it to somebody else, they gonna wear it, and then they gonna sell it to somebody else. It's art. He did it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm real proud of him.
What goes through your mind, though, Dane, when you thinking to yourself, I remember when he was a young kid coming out of Chicago trying to produce, talking about he wanted to rap, and now I'm over here on this big-ass farm kicking flavor.
I was right. If this didn't happen, then I didn't do what I said I was going to do. I told everybody we going to be billionaires. That's what I said. No one wanted to be a millionaire. We billionaires. That billionaire mentality and go home. Feel me? But like a real billionaire. Not the fake one, the real one.
Talk about being a visionary, though, Dane. What is it that you see that other folks just don't get, man? And where do you see the culture going now?
I ain't gonna lie, this generation is off the hook. I like this generation. This generation's not having it. This is the first one that I've seen fake since I've been out. You know, it's like I feel like finally I'm really glad I stuck to my guns, you know, because I know the impact it's had on these younger people. It was like, you know, years ago I'd be like, you know, older people, they too hard, they stubborn, you know. It's about the younger people. That's why I started to really live on the internet more, you know, talking to them on their phones and the computers. So, you know, I invest in the future. You know, these people are weak, they old. You know what I'm saying? I'm old. You know, I'm strong for old, but I'm still old. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like doing all that. But these kids, they not having it. They talking that talk. I think there's going to be a real change. And the fact that I got a network, I'm going to ensure that. You know, the person that controls information.
I think what you said when you snapped about your last name and what we need to be doing woke a lot of folks up, man.
Yeah.
And folks ain't been back to sleep since then.
I'm glad. And if that was the beginning of it, so be it. It's funny because, you know, when I did that, I went and lived on a farm in North Carolina for about 2 months. All right. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm out. Me and my girl left. You feel me? And then stood in North Carolina for like 6 months. You know, because I know what that message, who that disturbs.
Ooh. Talk about it though, Dame. You know, basically you're going up against the power structure.
I'm the power structure now.
Ooh.
I have no fear. You know, like I said, when you start making billionaires, economic power is the power structure, right? You know, you notice the billionaire thing is starting to be a trend. What's my rock and roll name? Billy Pablo III. That's from being a billionaire. Billy. You know what I'm saying? When I say Billy, I don't mean Billy Goat. You know what I mean? I mean Billy. You feel me? Actually, I do mean Billy Goat. I'm going to be the Billy Goat. Watch. I'm the Billy Goat.
That'll be slick. That'll be slick. So now, also, Dame, I want to
don't let nobody else take that name. If you hear anybody say that, you know they got that right here. You know who's listening. But I'm the Billy Goat. New nickname, the Billy Goat.
No, that's slick. That's slick as hell. When it comes to eating healthy and taking care of your body, though, Dame, can you speak to how important that is? Because, I mean, you know, we grow up eating these fast foods and nobody giving a fuck, and folks wind up sick and dying. So, I mean, how important is nutrition?
It don't matter how much money you got in the world. If you wheezing, if you dead, you broke. You'll do anything. Like, I'm sure, and again, anyone that's had COVID, the experience that I've had with people is they like, yo, I just would do anything for oxygen. You know what I'm saying? Like, breath and freedom is priceless when you don't have it. So you have to make sure that you're investing in your organs. Like a lot of motherfuckers work out every day but still be eating nasty while I'm coughing. That's the number one killer of us right now is diabetes and heart disease and cancer. And that 100%, the number one cause of that is meat. Facts. That's a fact. You know, damn near they said 1 out of 3 people gonna have diabetes in the next 10 years. The food ain't made the same as it was before, you know? And you got to think of the food that's made available to us. It's a program. Why you think these foods that can, like, I got friends that were straight gangsters dying from heart attacks, not bullets. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy to me. I'd be like, this is how he went out? That's crazy. A cheeseburger killed this nigga? That's crazy. You know? So you got to. And then you got to look at the future. Like, I'm diabetic. And, you know, I remember, damn it, everybody has that uncle in the room that's missing a leg. And they got to take care of them and all that. I'm not going to let anyone see me like that. It will never happen. You know, I'm not going to put myself in a position that the people that I take care of now got to change my diaper. I don't want to go out like that. So I look at my future and how I want it to look like, you know? It can't look like that if I can help it. You know, some people be like, you know, life goes so quick. And I'm 49. And I remember being 20, 30, thinking that 50 is cooked, that you're going to feel old and you're going to be all right with being old. I still like being the coolest in the room. I still think, you know, I'm ready to fight. You know, it's stupid too, because I do be sore, you know, but you still want to be that, you know what I'm saying? So you got to look at that future. Like, yo, it's easy to be cool when you're 20.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of cool 20, 30, washed. 35, corny. It's so funny, like even people I saw that were cool last year are now getting that corny bite, like, oh shit, they were so cool last year. Like when you make such a commitment to a point of view, you better make sure it's a classic one, not a fad, because then you're going to get corny. So a lot of the fads It's natural. It's going to go away. In that moment, it feels like forever. But you don't want to like Van Dutch yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or, that kind of thing. No disrespect to Van Dutch. It's making a reason. You know what I mean? But it's just when something becomes a fad, it goes out when it's extreme. So a lot of people are being very extreme. It's funny. But to see them 3-4 years later, you got to think about your future. You got to be Spock.
Exactly. Now, Dame, during the course of your career, was there any time where you received tutelage from anybody that came with the game that really changed the trajectory of your career?
To be honest, it wouldn't be direct tutelage. It would be like people that I would look at the way they do things, and I would just observe them and implement the things I like into what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because I'm in so many different kinds of businesses and cultures. I might take something from one business and put it into a culture, something from a culture and put it into a business, and so on and so forth. Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah. And so on and so forth. So, yeah, it's interesting because the way I do things is art. You know what I mean? And unless it's like art, unless it's different, then I really don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Because I never want to fit in. I never want to look like atmosphere. I always want to stand out. If I'm doing everything everyone else is doing, then to me, I'm doing the wrong thing, unless I did it first. And then once everyone's doing it, I usually go to something else. My perspective on things, just because of the longevity of it, my programming, the way I see the world is probably, I would think, 5 billion% than most, just because of my programming. It's been so long. You know what I mean? Like I never really wasn't free. I've never been an adult male. Only time the only person that really told me what to do was my mom's, and she died when I was 15. So basically no one's been telling me what to do since I'm 15. You feel me?
With your mama passing at 15, man.
It should make me a savage.
How were you experiencing all of this success and not being able to show mama, man?
Mama sees. I have full faith in that.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have happened if it wasn't for mama. She's an angel. She's one of the angels that protect. I got some serious angels. I don't look at it like that ever. I never had regret. Sometimes I'd be curious about how someone would react to it. I think I was very dependent on my mom's. Her death is what made me fearless. I was soft before my mother died.
My God. Lastly, Dane, what is the advice that you got to this next generation coming up from your mind? What is it that they need to be doing, and how is it that they need to be carrying themselves and handling business coming out of this COVID-19 in 2020?
Well, this is an interesting time because the world will never exist the way it once did. We're moving into a new world, which should be embraced because the old world was for us. So you have to make sure you make the narrative right moving forward. I made a commitment when COVID started to come out 10 times stronger, and I did. Yeah. Because while I'm a general, I'm in war all the time. So when the war happens, I'm looking for it. Like, yes, now I'm gonna show y'all what this is about. And all these soldiers are gonna sit there and wait to be told what to do, and they were being told what to do by fake generals, by real soldiers, and they're stuck. So while everyone's sitting still, I'm like, yo, I own everything. I got my own cameras. I can work during COVID in a safe place. You feel me? Because I ain't got to wait for nobody to tell me to come to work or not to come to work or how to come to work or any of that. So I was able to make, in COVID, bro, first of all, I did like with this comedy, Cynthia, we did like 19 episodes. I shot a documentary. I shot 1, 2, 3, 4 movies, bro, in COVID.
Damn. That's crazy. That's crazy right there.
I'm prepping to shoot a zombie one because I'm bugged, right? Because to me, again, my hustle mentality is like, yo, if I got a block, that block got to be clicking. I got to have work. I got to have product. And if the block is clicking and I ain't got no work, it drives me crazy. I just couldn't never do it. And I can't sell no bum work because I ain't gonna f my brand up. So I can't. So I'm always thinking, yo, I got to keep this work. I got to network. So I'm like, nah, I want to do one a month. But again, in spending time with Kanye, what I learned is I have to really focus to be great on product. Like I'm a big picture guy and I want a volume, but sometimes you gotta just, I gotta just really, really just focus. So my version of focus is editing 4 films at the same time and not shooting one. But at least it's a start. Like I said, I also think therapy is important. And I talked to my man Taj. Black people don't go to therapists. So the study of therapy comes from the study of white people because there's no black people to study. So sometimes it's hard for a black person to even talk to a therapist because they haven't been trained right. It's not trained for us. So you got to find the right person that understands your language, someone that comes from your same trauma. Because like, how could someone that's never been through anything near your trauma really conceptualize it? Like what it looks like to see somebody killed or go to jail or die in a car accident. Like I seen everything that almost every way someone could get killed or die, I've literally seen it. You know what I mean? With my eyes. And it's not a thing that I've ever looked at as something that hurt or that affects me. But I know that there's certain things, no matter where I'm at, I'm not sitting with my back to a door. You understand what I'm saying? Ever. You understand? No, it's just PST. I don't trust people. You know what I mean? I know I'm looking all the time. You know what I mean? Like I still feel like I'm outside and I'm not. I would like not to feel like that. You understand what I'm saying?
I feel you. When it comes to that post-traumatic stress though, Dane, how do you deal with it now when do you look back on your life and you say, damn, that was as hell back in the day, but I didn't recognize it as being now when you unravel it and unpack it? Or
the shit I was into when I was young is crazy, bro. That's what I'm saying. When I look at it now, I'll be like, oh, it was nutty. It was just that I know what I do know is that when you're young, you really feel invincible. And what you have to teach the young kids is, you're not invincible. I know you feel invincible. Don't get hurt to learn that you're not invincible. Nobody's invincible. You always think nothing will happen to you that happens to everybody else. Everything that could have happened to me has happened, bro. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm always making sure that, you know what I mean? Like who loses this girl in a plane crash, bro? You understand what I'm saying? Like what type of time is that? But it was Aaliyah. Like I don't regret it. I wish it never happened, but I would never, if I knew that was going to happen, I would still have been, you know what I mean? Unless I could have prevented it. But the time I spent with her it was heartbreaking to lose her, but it was priceless. Priceless, but I dealt with the pain and the trauma that comes with the exposure of love. And I'm still not scared to love. See, a lot of people lose people and they just get scared. I think it's a test. I'm going to give more love and then I can recognize love and learn how to protect it better. That's why with my girl now, I know how to appreciate a woman, but I appreciated every second with Aaliyah. Don't think I didn't. You're not an argument.
What is it like for you now, though, Dane, when you watching movies and documentaries about folks like Biggie and Aaliyah and stuff like that, and you actually knew these people and just seeing their images living on how it's been going on, man? I mean, how does that impact your psyche?
It's mind-blowing. Because in my brain, I'm a regular dude. So it's regular dude. And that's what's great about, I think, with when you really can sit back and like appreciate your life instead, like you look at the light instead of the dark. See, I always think you have to find the light in the dark. That's the challenge. Like if you go through pain and you don't figure out how either someone can learn from it or you, then the pain is in vain. It's a loss if you don't learn from it. But it's a learning experience if you gain something from it. And even in COVID, I learned something. I found the light in it. In every death, I find the life because there's a yin and a yang. There's equal of both. It's just depending on your narrative. I choose the light, not the dark. That's really what, I think keeps everything right with me because I don't know nobody in life that doesn't go through something. Everybody goes through something. So I'm not going to be like, oh, why me? I'm going to say, damn, I get to go through something way more luxury, way happier. I have the best, when I have problems, I can deal with them the best. Like, me and my girl lost a baby last year, at 7 months pregnant. You understand what I'm saying? But a year ago. But right now, She's 8 months pregnant, or 7.5 back. So we went to Hawaii, healed, came back, and got right back on it. And now that's not to say it's a memory loss. It's a memory that we learned from, and now she's actually being there to help other people that need it. I always think something happens to me, like I became diabetic, because I could deal with it and help others that can't. So being a king, you're not a king unless you fought front line on the wall, unless your people could see that you rose from the same that they rose from. And that's why I'm diabetic just like you. Everything every problem that you have, money can't pay for certain things. You can't pay for somebody not to die or not to be healthy. You can't pay for that. No matter how much money you can't. You can't pay to be happy. You know? I see so many people with so much bread and they're miserable. I'm like, I don't get it. And then I see a lot of people with no bread, they're happy every day. If you're miserable, you're going to be miserable no matter how much money you got. And if you're happy, you're going to be happy no matter how much money you got. But you know what I noticed? The only people that don't like me, and I want you to, because I know that there's always a crowd of people that hate me and a crowd of people that love me, and there's always that argument. I bet you the people that don't like me are miserable. Just look at that common denominator. What I notice is that I trigger miserable people. Happy people love me because they like, man, happy. And miserable people be pissed because I'm happy. They don't understand it. Look at name me a Donald Trump fan that's happy. Seriously, like, it'd be black people sometimes. I'll be like, what? And they're miserable. I'll be like, because you're miserable, of course. You don't look happy, do we? Listen, if you don't know how to dress and don't dance, that means he don't laugh. He ain't happy. If you're not getting fresh, I don't care. If you're not fresh, you're not happy. Period. See what I'm saying? Name one of these that's talking this stupid that's fly. Name one. The girls like them. They don't even like fresh that they get. So they got whack girls. You know what I'm saying? They life look whack. If you're not fresh, you're not attracting nothing nice.
Crazy.
Ain't no happy goofballs.
Answer me this though, Dame. The 90s, Biggie, Tupac beef, y'all being heavy in the game at the same time. What was it like navigating the industry at that time? And when people started passing, what was going through your mind?
Shit, I didn't come here for this. I got out the street to get the fuck away from this. I couldn't even understand it. Like, you gotta think. To me, I'm like, yo, we just beat the game. We out. We're done. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you rob a bank and you're like, yo, let's just go to an island and hide and just chill. That's what I was feeling. I'm like, what are y'all doing? How you gonna get yourself hot after you got out the game? So I hated it, bro. I hated it. I never understood it. And I thought that, again, it was a program because it was when things are publicized, that's what keeps things going. Those are the triggers, embarrassing people. And I just think the public's responsibility is to ignore this stupid, but nobody ignores the dumb. I know what to ignore. You know what I mean? I know, like, there's a lot that I could put up there that I got. Like, remember I got footage of this, I got footage of everything. But I'm not trying to trigger certain things. The world don't need it. I'm not going to do it for my own personal. Only time I really do it is to protect myself. But if I think something's going to have a negative impact on the world, I'm not going to profit from that. And that's what we have to have consciousness of. That's why, like, when people be promoting gossip and stupid, I'm like, yo, first of all, to put out that much negative vibration, do you know how much negative vibration you're going to get back? And you doing that to talk about somebody else's business on a mic that affects 1 million people, and you wonder why you need therapy? Like, yo, it hurts my heart. It gives me anxiety to hear about anybody's business but my own. I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear it. You understand what I'm saying? But some people be like, yo, I want to hear all. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear another man talk about another man or girl. Because then I don't respect that man. Because men, to me, don't do that. Yo, you heard about such and such? Unless, like, you know that person and that's like your homie, y'all shouldn't be talking about it. But, like, if you know him, and I understand that, it's definitely entertaining to see your friends and people you know do stupid shit and you talk about that. But if it ain't got nothing to do with you, like, did you hear about the way he wiped his ass? I don't want to talk about you know what I mean? I don't want to hear that.
Dang, from being the child to being the mogul, what was that you felt like you made it and that you had control of the game, man?
I don't feel it yet.
What? Why not then?
Because I'm trying to, I just have a bigger play. Like, my war is a little different. I won some battles, but I ultimately haven't won my war yet. You know what I mean? Like, you can lose a battle, but as long as you win the war, that's all that counts. So that's why when people, you've been through something, those are battles, bro. They ain't wars. The wars, as long as I have the war, I'm looking at that war. I'm almost there. You know, like, again, until I'm looking at that billion, I ain't did it. And one of my students already did it. So he becomes the teacher. I'm all right with it.
What you getting from Kanye now then, Dane?
Huh?
What kind of game are you getting from Kanye now that he done became a teacher here?
Focus. That's what I learned. To focus. You know, don't, sometimes, you know, I'm not saying everything he's doing is right, but what I'm saying, the way when he focuses on a product, that product ain't coming out until it's right. Let me tell you that. And he ain't just putting his name on nothing. Like, it's really scientifically, like, before I really was able to watch how he works, I didn't know that he really is every single second of the day working. Every second of the day. Like, y'all niggas ain't ready for him, bro. I'm not gonna work that hard. You know what I mean? I gotta take some time to the pool. But he doesn't, I'm telling you, if for someone that already got this much money, make these many records, I be telling artists around me, like, yo, this nigga's already a legend, and he out hustles you by 3,000 billion. And that's your competition. And I'm telling you, I'm looking at it. You ain't ready for him. You ain't ready for me. And unless you're ready for us, then you playing the wrong game.
Yeah.
But that man, he want that action. It's funny, because I wouldn't have expected it to be him.
What?
Not like that. You gotta remember, it was Cam, Jay. I wasn't expecting that. He was the one I was expecting to, like, open the door. I wasn't expecting him to be that gangster. He's been more gangster than anybody that I wasn't expecting him to be so gangster.
What was it in him that caused him to be the one to do it?
Because he could do it without me. You understand? Like, I think he was gonna make it without me. He was gonna figure it out. You know, he just doesn't sleep. His work ethic. It's about that work ethic, bro. Like, if you working every second, you're gonna make something great. And a lot of people I know have dreams, and they are on their Instagram all day, relaxing. You know, when it's time to work, and they act like they already got $1 billion. But like, for me and him, every second of the day that we're awake, we're doing something that's going toward, you know, our business or our creativity. Like, we're just always doing something. He's like me on, like he says it, like, he's the fire. He's like the dragon version of me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he wants all that shit. Like, I'm kind of like, I'm like, I'm like the rock star guy that wants to just chill, smoke weed, and he's the one that wants to be like, I'd be like, yo, can we chill? Nah. And that's what I'm saying. That it's a different kind of gangster, but it's gangster. Like, I can't control him. Like, trust me, I'd be like, oh, chill, man, let's relax. But it's always major.
As a celebrity, Dane, how do you deal with the criticism and the hate from people, man? Because that's one of the things I think people have a hard time dealing with, getting into entertainment or just trying to be successful in general, is what other people are thinking and saying about it. So how have you dealt with it?
I don't give a I really don't. I've tried. I just can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why am I going to care about some lame? I just don't give a what anybody says. All I worry about is the picture good. Like, is the picture good? I don't even read the story. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what somebody says. You know, it's like, if you're a basketball player, you really care what a fan thinks? They're not playing.
Yeah.
You know? I care about what my family thinks. And I care about what people I respect think, because if I'm doing it wrong, I want to do it right. But I have never really felt so much hate in person ever. Even years ago, no one's ever like come up to me and ever said anything but anything complimentary, ever. Because the thing is, I'm fighting for us. So like, you can't be mad at my tone of voice if I'm fighting for us. You can't be mad at my tone of voice if I'm trying to help you. Like at the end of the day, it's just love, bro. And again, a lot of people don't know how to accept love because they don't know how to love themselves. So you don't even know when I'm trying to help you. You getting defensive because you're scared. Like, oh, you trying to embarrass me? I'm trying to help you, bro. What's embarrassing is what you're doing that you don't know.
That's right. It's
like you got a booger on your nose, on your face, and you walk around thinking you cool. Yo, wipe that booger off your nose. Oh, you trying to snap? Nah, nigga, you got a booger on your nose. You understand? I'm not gonna let you do that. Now you mad at me because I don't want to see a booger on your nose? Now I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I try to help you.
I feel that, man. I feel that. Well, dang. Appreciate your time, boss. How can them folks stream the platform and get down with the movement?
Just go to Dame Dash Studios and order it. I got a lot of that's happening. I can't really say it right now.
Well, I got to do it, man. Like I said, a lot of the game that I'm implementing right now, Dame, is coming out of your playbook. So you ain't even know it, but I got sleeve too, man. And I mean, it came directly from the horse's mouth. So I just want to say thank you for being a good leader, a thought leader, and somebody that's really moving the culture forward with the stuff that you're saying at the same time.
I appreciate that, bro. I'm just here to help. That's all. Stay safe and stay healthy. You know what I mean? Help. Let me know if you need any help, bro. That's how we do. That's what we have to do. We gotta stay. We gotta be the wall. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, I'll talk to you later, Billy Goat.
All right. that happened here. That happened here.
Yes, sir.
Billy Goat. The Billy Goat. I like the Billy Goat.
If you want another amazing video with the one and only Dame Dash, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.